intention of grouping the professionalism of the undergraduates. Then, according to our year plan of 2020, we have planned a series of sessions known as STEP, Lead, Star series, specifically tailored programs to take our members from the zeroth stage to the ultimate goal of professionalism. So today you have joined the third step of the STEP series after successfully finishing 2 sessions before. So, to enlighten us about the important concept of personal branding through social media, we have invited the best panelist who suits our requirement. He is none other than Mr. Sharanyan Sharma. Hello, Mr. Sharma. Hello.
Hi. Very good evening to you guys.
Hi. He is the founder and managing director of Extreme SEO Internet Solutions, founder and chief executive officer of 7 Arena Technologies, founder and managing director of Privileged Server Technologies, and founder of Hub Sri Lanka. I warmly welcome you, sir, to our session today, and we're so grateful to you for accepting our invitation and sparing few hours with us amidst your busy schedules. So without taking more time, I'd move on to the first question I have for you. Mr. Sharma, we have seen your profiles on social media, and it indeed is so stunning. It also can be addressed as personal branding. So as per your view, how would you describe personal branding?
Okay. So first of all, thank you so much for inviting me for this wonderful session. I'm sure that almost more than 50 plus future entrepreneurs are here. I would say future entrepreneurs who are going to decide everything for the country as well as for anything and everything. So when it comes to personal branding, it's about you. Say an example, if you look at me, why you invited me, why you chose I'm the ideal person for this kind of session. That's all about the personal branding in a nutshell. So, but if you dive deeper, it's all about the value, how you position yourself to others. Say an example, if I'm not present for a place, how people will talk about me. And if someone says Sharanyan, how they will remember my capacity as well as my skill set, and that will define as a personal branding. So an example, in my scenario, people will think in 2-3 different ways. So my passion, it's kind of driving. My passion, personal passion is driving. Professional passion is all about research and technology. So that's pivoted into digital marketing. But my lifestyle, it's like a lifestyle I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur. So my lifestyle, it's going to be like a office and my family as well as the career. So likewise, how we balance. So when you are blending all these 3 inputs together, that will become as a brand. So when it comes to personal branding, it's all about your reflection. Whatever the activities that you are doing by yourself, where it's reflecting to others, that's how they will define your capacity and they will define your values. In a nutshell, how you position yourself to others will define as a personal branding.
Yes, so thank you, sir. When talking about personal branding, if there are attendees of this session who still didn't get a clear idea as to what exactly personal branding is, I think we can help them by giving a real life example of a brand. So the best example we have here is Mr. Sharma itself. So, sir, what is your brand?
The brand is me, how I'm reflecting to you. So an example, girl, Uthpala, for why you asked me to come and share my insight, because your perspective is different. The way that you look at me, the way that you evaluate myself. So you think like I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur, I'm having a very good experience in digital marketing. That's your perspective. I do have a different audience, the bikers, how they will define me, how they will add value. So in other words, it's all about perspective. So when it comes to personal branding, how people will define you, how people will think about when they remember your name, your accents, and your result that you deliver. Doesn't matter whether it's success or failure. That will define and adjust your personal branding. A great example, as an example, in my life, my previous story made me to reach this level. Okay. If you look at all the the top-rated entrepreneurs. I'm not comparing myself as an entrepreneur. So when it comes to entrepreneurship, there are multi-layers, multi-level, serial entrepreneur, an entrepreneur, as well as the tech entrepreneur. So I'm climbing myself as a lifestyle budding entrepreneur. So which means I'm not a person who are only focusing on revenue and profit and the credibility. So I'm just focusing on how I weigh, how I measure myself, my reputation. It's based on the happiness, based on the achievement that I made, based on my capacity, based on my skill set. So that's how the personal branding will define when someone wanted to present themselves to others. So that's a first example for me. And my previous failure. So an example, if you look at my 13 years back, my story, I started as a driver. When I studied in SLWIT, I started my career as a driver. So that's a fantastic story that I had. I mean, an experience. That is the first formula. Still, I was a driver at that time. Still, I'm a driver. But the only difference is that time I drove a vehicle for someone. But now I'm driving my own vehicle. So when you share this story, how are you thinking? There are perspective, there are thoughts that will spark on your brain. No? Does it matter? Oh, that's awesome. That's inspiring. Is it something important? So this is how people will think when you're sharing a story. But in order to cater everyone, you need to know how to blend, how to navigate, and also how to adjust your frequency, your story when you are presenting for a certain audience. Say an example, if you look at my story, I'm just sharing my story with the budding entrepreneurs as well as the successful entrepreneurs, because they know the pain. The successful entrepreneurs, they have already been through that kind of level, so they can feel it. But if I share this story with the business people, how they will think, okay, he's a driver. How come he can be a chairman, or how can become a CEO for a company? Because from their perspective, I wanted to start from a level and university, and then I need to step into the MBA or maybe postgraduate diploma and university. So likewise, I need to grow a ladder, because that is their perspective. This is how they grow. It is not bad at all. This is how they will think. So personal branding, in my opinion, personal branding, it's all about you're satisfying or you are representing yourself to a group of audience. If you're targeting yourself to a broad audience, you're not going to make others happy. If you look at Gary Vee, the top-rated entrepreneurs in the world, like Gary Vee and Simon Sinek, so those people are having a very selective audience for them. Even though I'm a big fan of Gary Vee, I'm a big fan of Simon Sinek. So, but if I refer those people videos to my colleagues, they would say, it's a BS. It's a BS. They would say it's a BS. We don't care about it, this kind of motivation. But for them, it's a motivation. For us, it's an inspiration. Okay, personal branding, it's about the reflection that you're creating, the impact that you're creating for a very selective group of audience. Because if everyone is going to understand you, you have to change. You are going to change your style, your lifestyle, and your way of approach for different audience. That you can't do that. So which means eventually you will fail. So personal branding, you need to understand your capacity, your passion, then you have to chase it, you have to win it, and then you need to define your target audience and reach them in a manner.
Yes, so we understand that simply personal branding is representing yourself in the society. So to brand ourselves, we may have various means to accomplish it. Social media is one such way. How does social media create one's brand?
Okay, so before you even dive into social media, but you need to know your purpose first. So a great example, your passion. First, you need to identify your passion. How you can uncover your passion. First thing, the first one, you have to evaluate yourself. If you're not able to identify your passion, maybe your friends or relatives or maybe any other different organization are going to tell you, you're good at singing, or you're good at dancing, you're good at cricket, you're good at driving something. So if you get to know your passion, then you have to start driving it. So which means you need to reinvent and start learning better than others. Then you will understand, okay, this is the path that I can chase it. This is the path I can become the best of the best. So once you identify that path, then step into social media. Otherwise, what will happen if you're unclear about your goal? you're simply creating and promoting yourself on social media, you will become another typical social media, not an influencer, but another social media user. Get to know the difference between the user, consumer, and contributor, influencer. There's this hierarchy that you have to get into that. No offense. If you look at the current social media trend in Sri Lanka, normally the social media always good to spread negativity. So an example, if there is a restaurant talking about something about racism or ethnic issue, if you take a photo and share it, people will stop their jobs and voluntarily they will make sure the restaurant is going to get closed. So that kind of activity can be done through the social media. I'm not saying the people are bad. It's all about the platform and also the psychological thing. So we call this as a dopamine. So before we talk about the dopamine and all this stuff, let's stick with the topic, saying why you want to get into social media, why you need to position yourself before you dive into social media. Because whatever the mistake that you're doing on social media will reflect again. If you don't know the purpose, if you're unclear about what you are going to do and who is your target audience and what are the value that you're bringing, what are the value that you are going to give it to your audience, then probably you will lose, because those people are not going to get benefited from you. Those people are not going to consume anything from you. So which means you will fail. So before you tap into social media, you need to have a strategy. So which means what are you going to do? How are you going to present yourself? And your target audience mindset, because your target audience are going to get to know your skill set. You're going to share your skill set. They want to consume it. And once they consume it, they will get two different results. They are going to use it or they are going to discard it. If they're going to discard it, if they're going to not going to apply on their job, you need to understand why they are not using your strategies. So which means you're still unable to cater your entire audience. So which means you need to understand your target audience. And when you're building your team, when you're building your fan base, make sure that adding all the members who are in the same group or same pages, make sure all these people are having the same interest. A great example, you're going to be an influencer for the fashion brand, okay, for the fashion brand. And there are people, they don't like cosmetics. There are people, they don't like artificial things, fabricated things. So they always wanted to go ahead with the natural one. So if you're adding one person within the group talking about natural things, he or she will create unnecessary conflict. So these things are artificial. These things will, this formula will create unnecessary issues on your face. So which means that is going to be unnecessary headache, not only for you, but for your audience as well. So just make sure before you tap into social media, make sure you are connecting or you are accepting the like-minded people. Once you build your certain audience, then you don't need to worry about it. Okay, initially you need to worry about the accepting audience. So once you build the audience, then you can simply transform all this audience using your strategies. The persona, we call this as a persona. So what do you mean by persona? It's all about a person beliefs, ethnicity, religion, and traits, as well as his present. So which means when I'm talking, I'm using three things: my audio, as well as my observation, like a visualization, and my kinesthetic things. So these things, how he is using it. And also when it comes to brand persona, personal brand persona, it's all about his characters. So people always will engage based on your characters. People will remember all the bad things only lazily. So easily they will remember only the bad things that you did. Good things always getting fed up. So whatever you are doing 100 good things, people will forget. I'm not saying it's bad. This is how we've been produced in this world. This is how our brain works. This is how an average brain works. But if you do just one mistake, you did 100 benefit for them. But if you did a one mistake, that mistake will create a boom on social media. So eventually it's going to spread and you will be done. So you spend 5-10 years to build your brand. But if you are unclear about your one audience, that audience can bring you down. So when it comes to social media, like I said before, make sure initially accept the like-minded people. So once you become a level, once you build your layer, then it is not necessary. You can accept anyone. People will stay with you if they like your content, if they like the way that you present yourself and your traits, they will stay with you, otherwise they will leave. That's how you have to start initially.
Yes, sir. So once again, I would like to remind our dear audience that if you all have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box. So afterwards, during the question and answer session, Mr. Sharma can look into them. Uh, then my next question to you, sir, is after all, this personal brand is mostly for our professional growth. So when it comes to our professional life, how does the brand created through social media play its role?
Okay, so I would say that's a misconception, Uthpala. Not only for professionals, isn't it? Even though my daughter, she's having a page, nowadays she's getting more fast better than me. Seriously, because it's not only for professional, it's all about the way that you reflect your target audience and the way that you reflect to your right audience. But the first assumption for me, why my daughter, 1.5 years of daughter, on her fan page, how she's organically getting followers. I simply identify, okay, because everyone like kids. So there are two ways people will love you. Doesn't matter whatever the shit that you're doing. Initially, if you're a kid, they will love you without unconditionally. They will love you unconditionally. And once you die, between that, there's a struggle part that you have to tolerate it. That toleration part, you can't define as a professional or you can't define as an individual. That is the process. That is a process that you have to take it. Say an example, I'll give you a great example. Say an example, you're traveling from Jaffna to Colombo. Jaffna to Colombo, it's a kind of journey. So on that journey, you're gonna face challenges. On your way, if you're driving on your way, you're gonna see the vehicles, you're gonna face the traffic cops as well as your food and everything. It's going to be a challenge. Likewise, in your career, in your life, if you're not able to sustain, if you're not able to manage a good discipline, unable to position yourself on social media in a way that people wanted to see you, will create unnecessary conflict. Let me give you a great example. What I closely observe from social media, especially youngsters like you. When it comes to politics, people are simply throwing unnecessary words. Of course, I'm not here to talk about politics or religion or anything, but without any clues, simply going and trolling, that's completely fine for a fun part. But there are people like us. We used to observe that. Look at me. If you are receiving a resume from from the university students to get an internship to our company, what we do initially, we will check their LinkedIn. Obviously, the Sri Lankan students, they really have very less awareness about LinkedIn profiles. So it is very hard to understand their skill set. So second thing, we will check their online brand footprints. So what is meant by footprints? Their name, what are the properties they have included that they have added it. Maybe they have published kind of articles or anything. So where we can understand their skill set and language proficiency. But especially in Sri Lanka, their Facebook is famous better than LinkedIn. Their Facebook profile is something really amazing, better than comparing LinkedIn. If you look at me, my LinkedIn inbox averages like 15 to 30 daily private messages. But if you look at my Facebook, roughly 2 or 3 messages, even though I would say weekly 5, 6 maximum. Why? If you look at the difference, because LinkedIn is for professional, okay? LinkedIn is for professional, Facebook is for the collaboration. It's all about the meaningful collaboration. Doesn't matter whether you're using for professional or for your connections purposes. But why I'm comparing LinkedIn and Facebook, because on Facebook, whatever you're talking, nobody going to restrict it. But when it comes to LinkedIn, there are terms, there are tones that you have to use it. Because if you're using, hey, dude, bro, on LinkedIn, that is unprofessional. So this is how you need to think about it. When it comes to personal branding, especially you need to understand the platform that you are interacting. Your personal branding, when it comes to social media, you need to understand which platform that you're communicating. Sometime I used to get inbox messages from LinkedIn users, especially from our students. No offense at all. They used to call me, hey Machan, hey bro, hey dude, can you give me a job? Okay, so what do you mean by job? I used to respond them. Why? Because if they ask me something like that, they don't have an awareness. It is not their mistake. It is not their mistake. They don't have an awareness how to talk in LinkedIn. But if it is Facebook, completely fine. You can call bro, dude, or whatever the thing that you can do it on Facebook. But on LinkedIn, there's a standard communication that you have to follow. But people like us, the lifestyle entrepreneur, we can understand your perspective. But the managerial level people, executive level people, the typical HR people, they will never ever look at your profile. They will simply block your LinkedIn account, and also they will report it if you call in that man. Okay, so that's how you need to understand the platform. When it comes to social media or your personal branding, you need to understand the platform. Okay, I'll give you one case study. So I started my third digital marketing batch students, and there are two students. There are one girl, she's from MODERATOR. She messaged me almost 5 months back. Hey buddy, tell me more about digital marketing. I simply gave a link about digital marketing. She messaged me saying, if I want to know from Google why I need to come to you, why I need to come to you. She asked. I was shocked, but even I explained, with all due respect, you asked me about digital marketing, I'm trying to help you. Okay, then can you teach me digital marketing? The tone changed. So I said, I'm not a digital marketer, because I want to make sure that girl is going to check my LinkedIn. Once she checked the LinkedIn, probably my assumption, like 98% of my assumption, her tone will get changed. So my assumption went correct. I asked her to look at my profile. She went and said, then again the tone changed. Sir, earlier she said, bro, hey buddy, now she's changed. Sir, I would like to learn from you. Okay, simply I referred to one of my staff, and she's onboarded with my third batch. Now she's learning digital marketing from my third batch as a student. But look at the story. It's not about me and the girl, but look at the story, how they approached. She started saying, hey buddy, but finally she started calling me sir. I'm not saying that everyone need to call you as buddy, sir, and all these things. Doesn't matter. That is not the context I'm talking. I'm just referring you the platform. If it is Facebook, that's completely fine. But LinkedIn, you can't use that words, because this is how people will judge you. When it comes to social media, just be very careful, because people will judge you. Whatever you're writing, even if you're using C, SWE, if you use C, U, that also matter. Yeah.
I think you kind of answered my next question halfway through, sir. But anyways, I'll ask the question again. It is a fact that social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram are two of the places where a lot of new connections are easily made. But so, Mr. Sharma, how would someone use Facebook and Instagram for their professional development?
Can you repeat your question, please?
Facebook and Instagram are two of the places where a lot of new connections are easily made. So how can someone use Facebook and Instagram for their professional development?
Okay, so for the Instagram, I'm not really active on Instagram, but Instagram, most of my clients, they are really active, and they are using as a lead generation platform to promote themselves as well as promote their brand product as well. For the for the Instagram, Instagram algorithm works in a different manner, even though it's acquired by Facebook. But for the Instagram, there's another brain chemical name called serotonin. Okay, guys, please don't scold me. If you love to hear something really advanced, I'll tell you. Don't scold me, okay? So Facebook, if you look at Facebook, there's a color, no? The blue color, blue and white. So those blue will create highly related to dopamine, because there's a research happened why people are awake and spending most of the time on Facebook. But when it comes to LinkedIn and Instagram, why these people are not really being online, but responding online. Okay, let me repeat that again. So Facebook, people are just staring. I didn't say, research says, people are staring on the Facebook and scrolling and engaging. But when it comes to Instagram, they are simply posting. But once they get notified only, they are logging and responding or interacting. So there's a university, they did the research. For Instagram, they are using kind of red plus purple kind of color. But for the Facebook, blue and white. Maybe you may think blue when it comes to color schema, color palettes, and if you're a UI and UX designer, probably you know the meaning of blue. But blue, scientifically, blue and white will scientifically create and trigger the dopamine. Again, I didn't say, research says, trigger the dopamine. So which means, doesn't matter whether the update is something, whatever the notification that you're getting on your mobile, is it important or not important, but you will check it because that kind of memory is being created on your brand. So when it comes to Instagram, you're not going to spend too much of time scrolling. Okay. But research says, whenever you get notification, you're going to respond them or you're going to interact. So if someone is sending your friend request, you're going to interact it. So likewise, this is how you can use this in an algorithm in order to promote yourself. Okay. If you have a Facebook page or profile, you're publishing something related to your audience. On your audience, if they wanted to know something more about the post that you said, the way that you write an article, the way that you publish a post will create a tendency. We call this as a CTA, call to access. Let me repeat that again. So when you're publishing an update on your Facebook, there are multiple ways based on your profile, you can publish it. Sometimes you may publish a job or maybe your group photo or maybe kind of fun memes or something. But people wanted to know whether there's a value. But if you want to promote yourself, if you're simply posting memes or clueless jokes, probably there's no value, but you will get more interactions. So that kind of interaction, again, that's an interaction. There's no value. There are pages you can see, no one care like pages. Those pages are promoting just 2-3 lines. If you look at the image box, black background, 2-3 lines. Those images are going viral. How does it work? There's a value behind it. So because people wanted to know exactly what kind of problem they are going through and which is related. Okay, someone is posting about if you have a problem in your life, go and solve it. Don't post it on Facebook. So which means there are two types of people: victims and problem solvers. The victims are the people who always try the problem. Problem solvers, whatever the problem, they will find an option. So those people always wanted to see in a positive manner on the social media. But these people, the victims, they want to see something related to their situations. Whenever they feel bad, whenever they feel they're down, whenever they feel they are alone, when they see that kind of post, they will attach with that. So something related to their situation, they will attach with that. Likewise, this is sentimental. So this is all about brand consciousness. I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, something really advanced, brand consciousness. It is creating connections based on your newsfeed. Sometimes you may complain why I'm getting this kind of post, because based on my interest, based on my mood, how Facebook is getting to know my mood. Yes, because whenever you feel alone, you are writing some kind of unnecessary poem on Facebook, which is not going to be solvable by Mark Zuckerberg, even by anyone, only your friend or by you. But Facebook algorithm will identify your words. Those words will create and separate a personalized news feed for you. So those news feeds will curate pages and contents that belong based on your moods. So you're going to attach with the moods. So eventually you're going to buy their product. If they're promoting something about how to manage your life, how to overcome stress situation, you're going to buy their product. That's how Facebook works. Same goes with you. If you are an influencer, if you have a good writing skill where you can write about how to manage your depression, how to manage your mindset. If you can write a book about it, you can sell and you can promote your product, promote your book through social media, because there are victims looking that kind of guide. So Facebook, you can do the same thing. But Instagram, if you want to, you can have 3 different profiles: individual personality, or maybe a public figure, or second one, you can be an influencer. So which means you're going to refer or you're going to represent a brand. A third one, a celebrity. So say an example, if you're a model, you're going to start as a celebrity initially. So which means you're going to post your portfolio, maybe your shooting photos, and you're going to connect with the like-minded people. That's how these people are going to get connected. So you're going to connect with the same industry model, and she's going to refer you, he's going to refer you, he's going to comment. So that's how your connection getting started. Eventually, there's another producer company going to hire you. or you're going to approach them. That's how the interconnections are getting created through the social media. But trust me, in this case, Facebook algorithm works in a very different manner, and Facebook conversation will happen in a different manner. But Instagram and the conversation and the patterns and also the layout is absolutely different. So you need to know the platform, and also you need to know what kind of audience that you are trying to sell or you are trying to build it. That is very important.
True, sir. So the two platforms that you spoke before of, that is Facebook and Instagram precisely, are not very professional platforms, as you said. But LinkedIn, on the other hand, is a totally different platform. So how do you see LinkedIn as a platform to create the professional brand you need? So basically, what is the purpose of LinkedIn?
Okay. Very interesting, but no wonder from the students like you. So guys, if you look at LinkedIn statistics, almost before the pandemic, almost 1.2 million LinkedIn active users in Sri Lanka. But during the pandemic, we have created a separate group name called LinkedIn Mastermind. So those LinkedIn Mastermind group, we have done almost more than 60 plus events, virtual event during the pandemic to create an awareness why you want to get into LinkedIn. Even though we did the same session using different type with different universities as well. So now let me tell you why LinkedIn is better than any other different social media platform. Because like I said before, Facebook is all about dopamine. Instagram is all about serotonin. Serotonin is a brain chemical. Dopamine also a brain chemical. Dopamine will create a virtual imagination. Say an example, whenever you're seeing a post, you will be related. But Instagram, whenever you publish something, you want to see and you want to, virtually you have to restructure yourself to see this is how are you going to look at it. Say an example, using filters and upgrading your face tone and all this stuff, you will virtually, you will fall in love with you. Okay, but on Facebook, no, in that manner, it's different. So that's the main reason serotonin works with Instagram. But LinkedIn, it's something really different. But when it comes to LinkedIn, brand consciousness level, it's very stable because there's no justification to just imagining yourself. Because LinkedIn is connected with highly academic level people, professional people. Whenever you're writing an article, if you do a simple tiny mistake on your content, academic people will come and comment you, hey, you made a mistake, you forgot the full stop, you forgot end. So that's how LinkedIn works. And you can use LinkedIn to improve your skill set. That's the first thing for students like you. Secondly, you can use the LinkedIn to present yourself. If you're going to position yourself, say an example, after your graduation, you're going to join for a company or you're going to start your own business. For that, nowadays the modern HR technology using a different platforms and algorithm to scan your resumes whenever you are applying for a job. So now we call this as a ATS, Advanced Tracking System. Nobody, if you're applying for a job for a maybe Vertisa or any of the IFS different companies, they're getting 100 CVs every day. It's very hard to track every CVs. What they do, they have a system name called ATS, Advanced Tracking Technology System. So those ATS will scan your LinkedIn profile or your resume to identify and give a score for the HR consultant, HR professional. So they will shortlist based on the score. Say an example, IFS having a strategy, an example, IFS having a strategy, they will only shortlist if a candidate passed 70% score. So those 70% score are related to your LinkedIn profile. How are you maintaining your LinkedIn profile and your education, your professional skill, as well as endorsement, recommendations, and your about us page, and all this interaction, all this profile will give a score. So that's the second thing. As a student, you need to focus on that stuff because nowadays, even every company, they will immediately get to know your skill set, your connection, your skill set, and everything through the LinkedIn first. The fourth one, you can get connected with like-minded people. If you look at my LinkedIn, every day I'm getting business requests as well as the invitations to join as a virtual presenter, facilitator for the events, and also business connection. Can you take care of my SEO? Can you take care of my digital marketing strategies? So likewise, and can you train me? So if you can build your profile in a very proper manner on LinkedIn, you can even help others to grow. So which means In my scenario, I have paid students as well as group 3 students. So paid students are joined through the LinkedIn. So there are people, even though for my 4th batch, there are more than 100 students are still pending to join for this 4th batch. How it's happening? Forget about me. It's not about me. How it's all happening? Because the way that I position myself on LinkedIn, the way that I published articles, content, and all the videos which I'm sharing with LinkedIn, are people getting to know, okay, Sharanyan is having skill set on digital marketing. So if I follow him, if I've been trained by Sharanyan, probably I can gain 1% knowledge from him. So that's how you can build your credibility, you can improve your connection quality, and also you can be an advocate for your brand or representing yourself to others. In my suggestion, even though right now, if you have created LinkedIn without knowing why you created, please get to know your passion first. What are you going to do? If you're a medical student or if you're a software engineer, get to know exactly you're going to join for a company or you're going to start your company. So think about it first. If you're going to join for a company, create your profile, maintain your profile from the HR perspective. So you need to put yourself in the HR person perspective. So how the HR person going to look at your profile, that you need to think. So he's going to look at your about us page. Are you writing something about your skill set, or are you writing about your grandpa, grandma? So that is very important. You want to know your skill set and your education. So where did you study and what kind of subject that you cover and what are the modules that you have completed. Those details need to be filled on LinkedIn. Like I said before, if you want to join for a company, but if you want to start your own company, that's a different perspective. So that time you need to represent yourself as an entrepreneur. Okay, so that time you don't need to highlight yourself as you want to be an employee. You want to highlight yourself as an entrepreneur. People like investors, mentors, business owners, they want to plug you. They want to connect with you. So when you position yourself as an entrepreneur, the future entrepreneur, student entrepreneur, so they will ask you to join from their company. They will ask you to be a mentor. They will ask you to become a facilitator or coach for their businesses. So get to know your purpose first when it comes to LinkedIn. There are huge potential behind LinkedIn. Please trust me in this case, you can grow just using one channel, that is LinkedIn.
So Mr. Sharma gave us a good beginning or initiative to the topic called LinkedIn. So now we are coming to the important part of today's session. That is how we can create a LinkedIn profile which a CEO even would view. So like today's session was mainly focusing on all about LinkedIn, how to create a good profile. So to initiate this topic, I would like to ask you, Mr. Sharma, what are the crucial and initial things that we got to consider when creating a LinkedIn profile? The most crucial factors that you have to consider when creating a profile?
Okay. First, the perspective is very important. And what's your purpose? That is very important. So an example, like I said before, student perspective, entrepreneur perspective. If you want to start your own company, you're going to become an entrepreneur. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, like I said before, make sure tailor your about us page. Talk about your passion and talk about your dream. Talk about how you are visualizing your future life. If you look at my LinkedIn, I shared my failure stories and how I started my career as a driver. And then even though I was a laborer, daily laborer in Colombo, so I shared my pain point as well. And then I shared about how I became this level and how I'm running this company, my companies, my ventures, and my connections and all these things from the entrepreneur perspective. So entrepreneur are the people, not the business people, but are the people who trust their passion and chase their passion, follow their passion, invest their passion, and they will build it. So I call them as an entrepreneur. And business people who are studying 3.5 years in university about business administration or business management, and they are starting a business or they are joining for a company to manage their businesses, other companies' businesses as an employee. So those people lifestyle, they are thinking pattern and their career is different from comparing entrepreneur. Because those people studied business administration, they know the meaning of risk. For the entrepreneur, they don't know the meaning of risk, but they know how to fix it. They know how to overcome that situation. Because the entrepreneurs, they trust their instincts and intuitions. But business people, they trust business plans. Okay, so they will follow the guidelines, they will follow the protocols, they will follow the grids and every brick they have created. So that's how the business people follow. So you need to know your purpose first. When you're creating your LinkedIn or you have created, that's completely fine. You need to know your purpose first. Second, how are you displaying on LinkedIn is very important. So do not upload your Facebook photos on LinkedIn. Okay, so on LinkedIn, we call this as a, would you mind if I share my screen with people where they can learn practically? Because I'm a person who love to learn practically and also would love to share with others practically. So Uthpala, is it okay to share my LinkedIn where I can go through one by one?
Yes, sir. Sure, you can share.
Okay, just give me a moment. So probably you will understand very clearly because okay, here you can see my LinkedIn profile over here. Okay, so I'm gonna fetch my profile. We call this as a headshot, but on Facebook we call that as a profile picture. We call this as a DP on WhatsApp, but for this LinkedIn we have a different term named called headshot. Headshot, and this one is a background image. Okay, there's a dimension for that. It's a background image. On the headshot, the size is 400 to 400. The pixel is 400 to 400, not more than 8 MB. But why I'm sharing my LinkedIn profile with you guys, because there's a grid that you have to follow. Do not upload your selfies. Do not upload your group pictures over here, because you need to follow this kind of grid. Okay, so your photo need to be in the 80 to 90% radius. So which means if you look at the image spaces between my face, my hair, and this dimension, it's like a 90%. So if you're putting less than that, like a 50%, that's unethical. Because, and also LinkedIn having its own algorithm to detect your profile picture, your content that you shared on your profile. So if you are following their guideline, higher chances your profile will get organic views. So second one is a background image. Okay, so now let's think from psychological way. Okay, so whenever you're visiting on Facebook and Twitter, you're seeing your profile picture on the left hand, isn't it? Twitter and also Facebook, LinkedIn. Why is that? Have you ever think about why it's happening? Because most of the time we have a misconception whenever we're visiting, we are only looking at the right hand. No, looking at the right hand is a very typical thing for the education related sectors. But when it comes to psychological, socialism based, when it comes to socialized based of relationship and connections, we always look at inner left hand side. So that's the main reason Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, they are putting profile picture on the left side. And when you look at the profile picture, the second thing, your eye is going to get fixed on the header image. So the header image, this one. Do not use so much of text on the header image. So header image need to be something really empty or plain image, which need to reflect exactly you. So you don't have to say, I'm an entrepreneur, I became this level. No, you don't have to write anything. So that image need to speak 1,000 words. That image need to reflect exactly who you are. So if you look at this image, forget about me, forget about my profile and everything. Look at this image. This image is getting connected. Okay, because I put my Google I/O presentation image, very authentic image. Because if you look at this one, there's no text. I didn't write any single text. People can see I'm doing a presentation. I'm on the stage. And if you look at this one, this image, there are three ways you can give. You can upload headshot on LinkedIn. The first one, as a student, it's always good to take a photo like this, straight photo. Okay, like this. But if you're an executive, with a tie, it is must. So, an example, you're working as a sales manager or brand executive or a company, it's must, you need to have the tie. So, smart casual would be fine. But if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, vice president, chairman, CEO, or maybe director, you need to take shot like this, side pose. Side pose is good. Otherwise, maybe you can have it like this. But on that scenario, the photo need to be go like this, in this level. your chest. But for the students and executive, you can take until the neck with a tie. But for the trainers, coach, celebrities, it's always you have to take like this. If you look at my photo, so I'm a trainer, so I took this photo in that manner. For the celebrity, you can take photo until your half level. Because celebrities, they want to expose their body. They want to expose more and more their object to the target audience to get to know. Say an example, if you're a fitness athlete, you really need to showcase your body to inspire others, isn't it? So for the LinkedIn, if you're propping your body like this, nobody going to get to know exactly you have the right body or not. So that's the main reason LinkedIn is allowing for the athletes and the coaches where you can display your half body. So likewise, you need to know how you want to upload and what are the considerations that you need to look at when it comes to LinkedIn heads up. The third one, the header image. On the header image, if you don't have such images, no problem at all. You can use canva.com to create a simple banner, put your favorite quote, favorite text. That's completely fine. Post it over there. Please do not upload your group photo which is taken from the university. It is inappropriate. You can use it for LinkedIn, or you can use it for Facebook or Instagram. Please do not use it for LinkedIn. LinkedIn, header shot, it's you. Again, let me repeat that. That's you. So focus on that stuff. And here you can see this is the title. Okay, this is very, very important when you come to LinkedIn. So write it properly. So which means if you're a student, talk about your university here. Your university will be, if you're adding your university in the education sector section, your university will be on the top. Okay, you will see it here. But meantime, this is your title. Talk about your title. You are a degree holder. Talk about, so professional software engineer having 5 years experience in corporate industry. That's the title. Okay, avoid jargons, avoid exaggerations, avoid unnecessary tones like people who are not able to understand. Don't fetch any words from the Oxford. So we have one politician in our country who talk even beyond the Oxford dictionary. I'm not criticizing, but you have to be very simple. Okay, you have to be, you want to, personal branding is all about, everyone need to understand the way that you are communicating. That's all about personal branding. Whatever you're talking, people need to understand you very easily. If you're using some exaggerated word, they will spend their time to search it from Google. So write the proper title. And also it is very important, your about us page. Okay, if you look at my about us page, I didn't write any poem. I simply wrote one by one, grid by grid. I didn't directly jump into my name is Sharanyan Sharma, award-winning entrepreneur. I simply started giving a call to action, CT. And then started about me, talking about me in a very humble tone, and talked about my profession and my lifestyle and mentorship. Who are my mentors? I've been mentored by Robin Sharma. So I simply shared all these stories over here. And finally, I shared about my skill set. On the skill set, do not write anything that you don't belong, you don't know. Please make sure, even though if you have a less skill set, that's completely fine. Because everyone is starting from one step, isn't it? As a student, you are not going to have such skill at the moment. You're starting at least one. That's completely fine. You start with that. So eventually you can upgrade the profile by later. So whenever you're attending for an event or you're getting certification for the participation, you can edit over here. Or if you have completed online courses, no problem, you can edit over here. That will improve your credibility. And you can highlight your most commented and shared stories over here. So that will help others to understand you, what kind of person you are. And this is where you will get to know your profile, views, and all the data. And when it comes to your profession, I think I'm talking with students. So according to Uthpala, I'm talking with students. So let me skip this one in order to save the time. And I'll jump into education. Okay, so if you're studying from Kalani University, make sure select your Kalani University when you're editing it. And it is very, very important, guys. Trust me. It is very, very important. If you're studying business administration, talk about the business administration in 3 lines. And then if you're following 3.5 years for 18 modules, do not write 18 modules. 3 modules would be fine. So what I studied from Slim, I simply wrote only 3 modules. I didn't write anything extra. 3 module name and what is all about it. 3 modules would be completely fine because it will help the LinkedIn search engine to rank and understand and give you more traffic organically. LinkedIn search also a search engine. LinkedIn acts as a search engine. So if you can use this strategy, that will help you to rank naturally on LinkedIn. And finally, if you have completed any other programs in your university, maybe you have participated for the kind of program, make sure add it in your volunteer activities. For example, Uthpala is hosting a program. So what they can do, the people who are behind this session, the event, so they can create as a volunteer community and add it over here. That's your experience. So you created as a new program and simply add your university and your role as a facilitator and what's the purpose that you're doing it for the volunteer purpose, and when you started and who are the people behind it, you can add it over here. So that will help people like you. When HR person are looking to hire you, they will understand you also did this kind of programs and you have professional experience in that manner. So likewise, and also your skill set and your recommendations. So these stuffs are very essential when it comes to LinkedIn, and very and it's very important. Do not communicate with people using words like a hey, hi. That's fine. I'm not saying it's worse. I'm not saying it's bad, but start it with hi. It's fine. Hey, better you avoid it. Once you're connected, you can use it. So initially, try to start with hi. Hi, Sharanyan. That's fine. Oh, Sharanyan would be fine. Dear Sharanyan, it is not really necessary in this current modern world. Hi, Sharanyan would be fine. Do not use bro, dude, buddy. It is not really applicable on LinkedIn. But once you connected, no matter what you're talking, that's completely fine. So please try to maintain as much as possible professionalism when it comes to LinkedIn. And one more thing, LinkedIn, you can do multilingual. So on my profile, I'm Tamil. I simply wrote the Tamil translation as well. So people who wanted to know, or people who set on their Chrome browser, their native language is Tamil, automatically the LinkedIn will translate for them in Tamil, but you have to write it. You really need to write it. Then people can read, because you need to know LinkedIn also supporting multilingual as well. And finally, recommendations. You can give recommendations for your professors, your lecturers, or people who supported you. You can give a recommendation like that. So you can write a superb recommendation about, but authentically, do not exaggerate, authentically how they helped you and how they add value for you. And once you added a recommendation for them, definitely they also tend to give you the recommendation. It is very important, people like you, when you're trying to apply for a job, people wanted to see whether you have been recommended by others. But on our resumes, what we do, on our last page, we used to say reference, to reference. But in online, these are the multiple authentic reference. Just imagine. So this is how LinkedIn works. But what I shared with you guys, it's very simple way of building your profile. The second thing, your purpose. Are you going to use this LinkedIn for HR purpose or you're building business purpose? But apart from that, are you using the LinkedIn for the lead generation purpose? In my scenario, I'm using LinkedIn for my business. So which means most of my clients, I would say 70% of my clients are coming from LinkedIn. So they are reaching me out, Sharanyan, can you help me to improve my ranking, improve my marketing strategies? So that's how I'm getting clients from them. So it's all about your perspective.
Thank you, sir. It was really very informative and interesting. When you were talking about the profile picture, I went to my own account and was scrolling through it and checking what kind of a profile picture I had.
You got embarrassed.
So it was not exactly that particular ratio that you said, sir. So I guess that will be a good point for all of our attendees today to be checking on starting from the profile picture itself. So then after that, after creating a profile, what we need to think about is the content or the posts that we share in our profile. In the student perspective, what type of content sharing we ought to do?
Okay, as I said earlier, if you're a software engineering student, you can write case studies. Okay, small tips about it. Maybe it's, if you're targeting that content for the students, you will get more connection with other students as well. So an example, you're writing a marketing related topic, SWOT analysis. Okay, you're writing a SWOT analysis in Sinhala or in very simple language with using images. So people who are in the same level, they will start interacting, they will start sharing their comments. they are appreciative, or maybe they will add more value on the comment section. That's how you can build one sequences. Audience segment. You can segment audience like this. Your connections, which means your friends and your influencers, your customers, and your lecturers, your teachers, or likewise, you can build multiple layers. So if you look at my LinkedIn profile, clients, so which means my ex-clients, existing clients, my new incoming client, a new prospect, and my staffs, current staffs, ex-staffs, my stakeholders, like the audit company lawyers. So those people also there. LinkedIn not only for clients, not only for the lecturers, not only for the students, there are multiple stakeholders are there. So when you're writing, they also going to look at it. What happened in my company? So 5 months back, we got a very interesting resume from a university student. We are really happy about the profile, LinkedIn profile, and also the projects and volunteer projects that he did. And we also told them to join the company after 2 weeks. And suddenly we got to know, when we look at his Facebook profile, we understand that, his real behavior. It is not bad. It is not bad. I'm not saying I'm justifying. But as a company, when we are onboarding a new person, we need to be very careful because it's a company, it's a culture. If someone come and break the unbreakable thing, that may affect the company culture as well. So he's having a great profile on LinkedIn, but when it comes to Facebook, so most of the words that he used is very disgusting. So which means people like us also observing, but there are so much of entertainers on Facebook. They also posting the same the words. So those words not about politics, not those words not about even the memes. It's something really, really adult things. Okay, so kind of local model. They are simply trolling. So we only saw the attitude. We don't care about the content. So the pictures we don't care about, but we only dive into context. Let me repeat that again. So the content, what they talk, it's an Jaffna-based model. They're simply posting on her post picture on the Facebook, and they're trolling her inch by inch. So that's their mindset. We don't want to justify that because that's their problem. But as a company, they applied for a job. We look at the context. So which means their mindset. So if I allow that person into my company, we have 60% of my staff's are women. So if I allow that person, the way that he articulated about a woman on the Facebook, how he will behave in my office. Just imagine. So that's the reason. Not only your students, not only your friends, people like us also observing your future employees, okay, your future partners, your future maybe girlfriend, boyfriend who are observing. This is even your relative, your parents. Maybe you may think you have to put them in an unrestricted list, but who knows that? Who knows? So it is very important when it comes to LinkedIn. You need to know, or social media, you need to know your audience first. Your audience, tailor your audience. Don't pretend it. Build a habit. Build this as a habit. So I'm not saying correct it. In this stage, how you want to live, let me tell you guys, I'm a practical lifestyle entrepreneur. I'm not here to motivate you because I don't trust motivation. I don't trust the motivation, the people who said you have to do these kind of things in order to become the successful person, because I don't believe the terms of success. Success means it's a progress in my dictionary. There's no dead end for success. So being practical is always better than being a pretending person. So in this age, because I missed your life, okay, I'm not an educated person like you guys. I missed your life. In this age, live your life. How you want to live it, just live it. But when you upgraded your life as a professional, please try to maintain as a habit. Kill that habit that you did in your student life. There are certain things that you don't have to follow. I'm not advising you, but it's always good. Kill those habits. Maintain a good relationship. Make others best. That will help you to evaluate and elevate your lifestyle. That's how most of the top-rated entrepreneurs became the best of the best. So answering Uthpala questions, so LinkedIn, when you're sharing content, people like us, people like your future employees, your professor, your lecturer, your girlfriend, boyfriend, your parents are looking at it. So make sure, share the content which is related to the audience. If you look at my LinkedIn, I don't only post for my clients. Sometimes I used to write very depth article. That article, not only for my clients, sometimes I used to write an article about my audience. So I do have a separate audience, people who are joining for me, people who are following me, only for the lifestyle. So which means the way that I'm living it. So my bikes, my cars, my life, and my way of talking, so that attitude. So there are people. So those people, I need to write them. I need to guide them. So it's up to them to take it or leave it. But they're expecting. So sometimes they used to ask, you're writing about digital marketing. When are you going to write about something for us? So they also came. So you need to start writing for your audience. When you're writing for Monday, you're writing for the students, your friends, maybe joint journal. So between 3 students are writing article and one student is doing a proofreading, you're publishing with 4 authors. So you can edit research by ABCD and written by this one, proofreader by this one. So it's a collaborative journal that you can do it on LinkedIn as well as a student. And second thing, maybe you can write a case study. You can do a case study. If you're a marketing student, go and talk with the companies like a Hemas or any other different companies or branches. Go and talk to them. Hey, I want to do a case study about your product, AB product. So if they allowed it, start from scratch. Like how did they started? How they complete their product development? How did they done their market research? And who are their target audience? How they achieve the revenue? Everything you can do case study. So publish it. So which means future companies will acquire you. So the Canvas interview, likewise, they will ask you to join. You don't have to apply for it. So that's my style. So don't chase the companies. Let the company to chase you. If you can build your rapport online, companies will ask you to join. Now you have so much of option to choose which company that you need to work. So pivot it. That trend is gone. Gone are the days that you are applying for jobs and waiting for a company to give a call. Build your online rapport like this, like what I said, and show your skill set. Okay, don't show off your knowledge. Okay, knowledge is different, skill set is different. Knowledge is what you are sharing and what you are talking, and skill is that come from your experience, your realistic experience. So that's the main reason I shared my LinkedIn with you guys, because it's very easy for me to explain, and also it's very easy for you to understand. If I talked about headshot and background image, probably you may think Sharanyan is also talking about another jargon. So you want to learn everything practical. That's what we call as a skill set. So if you can improve your skill set, companies will be in queue to hire you.
I guess Mr. Sharma addressed my question very well. It was very important what you said, sir. Then, Mr. Sharma, I have heard of something called SEO keywords. So, what are these SEO keywords, and does it make our profiles search friendly?
Okay. For that, I need to share with you guys again my screen. Before that, so if you look at this bottle, I didn't do that. Okay, this bottle is created through the Startup Weekend event. So this is Startup Weekend. I'm one of the facilitators for the Startup Weekend. So the entire community, the volunteers and the organizing team, so they have created this bottle for me. I'm just keeping it in my table. Once someone is talking about you, once someone is writing about you, that's what we call a personal brand. Otherwise, what you have to do, you have to go to the shop and you need to ask them to embed your name. You're going to pay them. But voluntarily, some people are doing it for you. So which means when you're growing, it will happen. Be in that manner. So now I'll come to your question. SEO means search engine optimization, guys. So let me share my screen with you. That will help you to understand very easily. Okay, so now let's search about Gary Vee. Have you heard about Gary Vee? Okay, so forget about foreigners. Let's talk about maybe Uthpala. I was reading entrepreneurs. If you look at Uthpala, you know, she's the chairman of Odell, and now the Odell major stock is sold to others, but she's the most remarkable woman entrepreneur in Sri Lanka. If you look at her profile, I did a typo mistake saying Uthpala Guna. Okay, I'm doing purposely a mistake, but see, Google is showing me this is the right one. How? Because number of pages being indexed about her name, about her personal brand. Google is determining almost 8,000 plus search results about Uthpala Hewagamage on Google. It's been stored and saved. Okay, let me repeat that again. Name, this is the keyword. We call this as a keyword. Whatever you're searching on Google, we call this as keyword. There are plenty of keywords, long tail, brand keyword, commercial keyword. Forget about that because that's something really advanced. I don't want to confuse you guys. But now remember, your name is the keyword. Your name is your brand keyword. So Uthpala, her brand keyword is her name. So I simply typed her name. So now we are able to see almost 8,000 plus search results are returning. Okay, so which means there are properties, there are online properties which is having and stored on Google that contain name called or keyword called Uthpala Hewagamage. So think in that manner. So that's how the keyword being indexed. The first one, her blog, Uthpala.lk. Second one, and her story. Third one is a Wikipedia. Okay, let's forget about the blog and everything. Now we'll look at the Wikipedia. So these data, if you look at the right hand side, these data being returned, which is returned from Wikipedia, because Wikipedia itself having a structure where you can't. It's Wikipedia. It's voluntarily built by a group of internet professionals and journalists who are passionate about bringing most remarkable, important things to as a library for the digital users. So that's how Wikipedia works. But there are people voluntarily wrote an article about Uthpala Hewagamage on Wikipedia. Here you can see her age and even her height, as well as her spouse, education, children, siblings, as well as her social media profiles, her Instagram and everything. And also, very interesting part, she's a businesswoman, an entrepreneur. So that's the main reason Tamika Pereira, Harry Jaravatana profile are returning, not politicians, but even these people are returning because they claimed as an entrepreneur in future somewhere. So that's the main reason Google is returning this kind of profile results. So if you look at this one, this is Uthpala official Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So how it's happening? Ask this question. If you type your name on search engine, are you getting a result? Which means if you're not getting any result, which means your online footprints are not really created. So now Raj Chandran is being searched and also related with Uthpala search. So Raj Chandran is a spouse of Uthpala. So that's the reason it's giving a separate result about Uthpala. And her net worth, okay, and her contact number. Someone wanted to contact Uthpala and her contact number and son, leadership qualities and all this stuff. So that's how. So let me search my name. Let me see if there's something is coming. Okay. Here you can see my LinkedIn. My blog is second. This is my blog. It is coming second. But LinkedIn, it's coming first. Why it's happening? Because LinkedIn, my LinkedIn profile having so much of content comparing my blog homepage. So that's the main reason LinkedIn page is coming first. And second, my images, videos, and all this stuff. Forget about that stuff. But here, search it related to Sharma, how people are searching to me. Sharma biography, and also my company SEO.lk, as well as Extreme SEO.net reviews, my company's reviews, and also the tools that we created. But there are another platform named called Google Analytics. So on Google Analytics, we can get to know exactly every single keywords. So now only the most related search are here, but every single keywords, there are people typing Sharma and spelling wrong spellings, as well as people are searching about Sharma bike, Sharma born, date of birth, contact, and also even girlfriend. So which means girlfriend. I used to say I do have a girlfriend. Even I do have 2 kids. I used to say I do have girlfriends. But people who knows about Sharma, my girlfriend is my bike and car. So even they are searching in that manner because I got to know this search from the Google Analytics. And it's all about the consumer's mindset. Okay, this is how people will think. Sometimes you may think we are creating this a kind of application for iPhone, but we don't know whether there's a need in the market. Sometimes you may think, as a student, you may think, if I create this idea that will solve a majority of the people problem, but we don't do the validation part. So that's the main reason we used to go ahead with keyword research. Okay, now, if you type a person name or company name, we call this as a brand keyword. Okay, so an example, if your name is Otara, that's your brand name. If your company is Odal, that's your brand name. But if you're typing something, a product name, or you want to buy something, you're trying to make a deposit, or you're trying to earn something through the having the money like what you have right now. So I'm going to search best interest rate in Sri Lanka. So which means if you're going to put 1 million on the bank, what kind of result, what kind of interest that you can gain? See, now these keywords, we call this as a question-based or consumer-based keyword. So which means this is how the consumer may think. This is how the people will think. And also there are another search. Redmi with Samsung. So which means you want to buy, you want to upgrade your mobile, you are searching, you want to compare it. So last week I did a session about performance marketing, about the experience and emotions. I talked about emotions, how people will buy, because people, they don't buy product, they buy product with an emotions and experience. Why you want to buy iPhone? Why? Because the reason, your emotions, which is already stored on your mind, saying iPhone is something privileged, iPhone is expensive, iPhone is something best, giving a good performance, having an iPhone is a good privilege. So why you are, how are you getting those data? Because you analyzed online, or you heard from others, or you experienced it. You touch one of your mobile, one of your friend mobile, and you experienced it, and now you gain all this experience as an emotion in your brain. So now your brain is telling you, buy it. So that's how people buy product. People, they don't buy product, they buy emotions and experience. So emotions and experience are very important for the product developers as well as the consumers. Okay, so now if you want to create a product, you need to know how consumers are thinking, how consumers are searching. Okay, so those are the keyword research and keyword, we call this a keyword research or keyword productivity analysis. So that's all about keyword, guys, because if I want to do a keyword research, I can go ahead with 12 hours, but I feel like you guys are expecting something different about personal branding. So I think this is completely fine for you guys at the moment. And in order to improve your footprints on search engine, you can create your profile on LinkedIn, optimize it, make sure use the same name. Do not use any other different alias. Say an example, if my name is Sharma, maybe I can use my car name, or Sharma, my car name or brand name or whatever I like, or maybe cricket name between that. That will create unnecessary conflict in our brand. So please always define your name. If you have a very lengthy name, my full name is Sharanyan. So that's a very lengthy name. It's very hard to pronounce or hard to manage it. Nobody going to search in that manner. So I simply removed the first one and used it as last. Even I don't remember. People, they started calling me in that manner. So they felt calling Sharanyan is very easy rather than calling the full name. So that's how people are going to search. So get to know your name first, define it, because if you search your generic name is something like maybe Bandar or Herath, there are tons of Herath and Bandar online. So you want to make sure that your name is going to be visible, your name is going to be the remarkable. So once you define your name, make sure you use it on your all the online properties, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Quora, wherever you are using it, use it properly. And once you created, once you created your social media properties, don't stop it from there. You can even go ahead with Web 2.0 properties like Eventbrite. So there are platform name called Eventbrite, F6S. So those platform, you can create your bio using your name. So those properties will give you more and more footprints about you. So when someone is searching about your name, the Crunchbase is another platform, don't forget it. So here you can create your profile. When someone is searching about your name, at least they will get to know. And once you have enough data, Google will tell to others who is Sharanyan Sharma. If someone searching about who is Sharanyan Sharma, Google even itself will tell to others exactly who is Sharanyan Sharma, has age and everything, where he's born and everything. Google will tell, because these data have been already displayed and integrated properly using the schema. Schema is a different markup language which is we widely use for to display or decorate search engine organic search results. So this is how you can get to know searches. Maybe you are going to search about some bank hotline number. You will get a number like this, okay? And maybe you can ask who is the current president India. We don't want to search in Sri Lanka because now we know who is the president, but there was a time we even don't know. So who is the current president, you can get to know, and who is the current president. So these are the consumer-based searches. If you are able to optimize your properties to return your property as the first, you will get more and people will get connected with you. That's how the keyword research works when it comes to SEO and personal branding.
I guess Mr. Sharma gave us a very informative description about what SEO keywords are, and it apparently is it's evidently very important when it comes to getting your profile or name on the top search results. Once again, LinkedIn is all about also about great connections. So to build up a good network, what is the importance of networking for a professional? How would you address that question, sir?
Can you be more specific, because your question is something brought to me.
LinkedIn is about great connections. So in order to build up a good network, so what is the importance of networking for a professional in the student's perspective?
Okay, so first of all, I would say that's a wrong assumption. LinkedIn is not for connections. Connection means it's like you are installing so much of applications on your mobile for just one purpose. Connection, it's a virtual thing. Create as a relation, change it as a relationship. So when you are building connection, this is the huge mistakes every LinkedIners are doing it. They are adding more and more and more connections every day, but they never utilize it. They never get interacted. Okay, so I'm getting so much of connection requests. I used to accept it because I want to make sure that if you have fake profile or your profile is not completed, no, I won't accept it. But once I connect it, I simply say, thank you so much for connecting, because that's all about value. If you're simply accepting and without interacting, there's no point of keeping 20,000 connection on your LinkedIn, but without interacting. Why you want to have such dopamine related stuff? Don't do that. Okay, so replace the name, connections, kill the connection, make it as a relationship. So relationship will create more and more rich and well-blended result, like a win-win for both of them, for you as well as for the connectors. But another issues on LinkedIn. So on my LinkedIn, I do have 20,000 connections. But what I did, nowadays, I don't send any request. When I'm getting a request, I'm accepting. But what I'm trying to do right now, every day I'm trying to connect with my existing connections, which is already connected with me. I just want to make sure that we are meaningfully connecting. We are meaningfully interacting. We are meaningfully sharing our commercial benefit between you and me. Say, an example, someone wanted to refer by, someone wanted to get connected by a developer. So when I'm interacting with them, hey, is there anything that I can help you? So they are saying, okay, I'm looking for an SEO guy. I'm looking for a developer. Do you have any connection? So what I can do, I can check from my list of connections using the keyword. I may have more than thousands of developers who are looking for a job. So what I can do, I can give an intro to the email. So with me, mutually they own me. So which means I'm helping them to get a job. So those person, 3 people are involving. So one person, a stranger, is getting a job, and the needy person is also going to own me, and this guy is also going to own me. So I'm having a gratitude attitude on my brain, saying at least I helped one person. So that's how the value need to be discussed. The value need to be rotated, and it doesn't mean he need to pay me. So in future, what he's going to say thanks to me, and also in future, Sami, can you take care of SEO? Can you take care of digital marketing? Can you help me in order to improve my business? Even the developer, whom I referred, is a developer. He's going to work with a lot of clients, and there are clients, they may ask, I'm looking for SEO guy. So what he's going to think, I voluntarily helped him without even knowing him. I helped him. So he's going to tell to the customer, hey, I do have one guy, he's good at SEO. Let me talk to him. Oh, can I give you an intro? That's how I used to get connections. That's how I used to get leads. There are people, they used to say, hey, I've been referred by this person. I never know that person. I never met him. So simply they used to say, this person referred me, you are good at SEO. Can you help me to improve my ranking? So just imagine, this is how people will think. So Uthpala asked about professionals. So professional means, in my opinion, it's a skill set. Two things, your skill and how are you delivering the result using the skill. There are tons of SEO experts and SEO strategists in the world, especially in Sri Lanka. But why I'm special? For my clients, I'm not claiming myself as an expert. I'm not claiming myself as a guru or anything. But on my vertical, on my skill set, I'm good at it. So it's all about result. I didn't say I'm a good expert. All my clients are saying, trusting Sharanyan, it's equal to getting the money instantly. So which means whenever I'm ranking their website, they are getting not only the visitors and also customers who are purchasing. So which means result. People will trust you. People will
Sir, you have muted yourself.
okay.
Okay.
So now you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So connections is all about how you build and also what kind of value that you're bringing to the table through the LinkedIn, because that is very, very important. Table in the sense between you, not just selling your product, promoting your product. No, it is not wrong. It is wrong when it comes to inbound marketing, online marketing. You don't have to sell it. You expose your skill set, you expose your knowledge, you expose your talent on LinkedIn or any of the social media properties. People will come to you. You don't have to chase anyone. Even if you look at my company, we don't have a single marketer. We don't have any sales team. Each and every customers are coming through my skill set, my reputation, as well as everything relying on my result. Whatever I'm giving as a result, it's defining my success and failure. So my suggestion to you guys, please focus on improving your skill set and focus on delivering the best experience for your clients and for the people whom you are trusting.
So, Mr. Sharma enhanced knowledge about LinkedIn, but there can be other platforms for professional development as well. So, according to your knowledge, sir, what are the other available social media platforms that we can use for professional development apart from LinkedIn?
Okay, so normally I'm using LinkedIn as well as Quora. Quora is one of the best platform, Quora.com. So let me type it over here. So Quora Tamil, Quora single, I'm not sure about it, but Quora where you can ask questions and also you can even learn. If you're a developer, what you will do, you will go to Stack Overflow, isn't it? So likewise, Quora, you can learn anything about your skill, your mindset, maybe your business doubt, gray area that you can get clarified. Even though you don't have to ask questions, search that question. Say an example, you want to know about how to improve my grammar, how to improve my elocution. So you are typing that keyword on Quora.com. There are tons of people, they have already asked the question. There are top experts, they responded. So which means instantly you can learn. So Quora is one of the best platform I love to see. I love to get updated every day. Second one, even though Facebook, I'm using Facebook, all the platform, it's all about how you are using it. There are people, they are using Facebook for their entertainment or their own perspective on needs, but I'm using Facebook for enhance my skill set as well as connecting with my followers as well as my co-workers, clients, and we have so much of groups on Facebook. So those groups are like a LinkedIn mastermind group. So let me share with you guys. Maybe you can learn about how you can improve your LinkedIn skill. And we have another group name called I have created Digital Entrepreneur Students like you. So there are a lot of Moderator University students are there. So I'm not promoting anything, guys. We are not promoting anything. There's no promotion allowed. Only knowledge sharing. Experts are coming and sharing their skill set, their knowledge, how you can improve it. There are tons of students are also already there, LinkedIn Mastermind group. And we have another group name called 5 a.m. Sri Lanka. So what we do on 5 a.m., you have to do 3 things, 20, 20, 20. So which means you have to wake up early morning and you have to write a journal about your day, your today, what you're going to do. So write it a simple thing within 10 minutes and reflect it. How are you going to achieve it? And the rest of the 20 minutes, you have to do a workout or maybe running or whatever thing. And the rest of the 20 minutes, gratitude. So say an example, how many people that you thank your parents? How many people do you thank your lecturers who spend their time with you? We don't do that, no? We always give priority for the people whom we met yesterday, but we really don't spend time with our brothers and sisters, our parents, and our professors. No, so that's the reason you need to allocate some time to give a gratitude. Gratitude is everything. Gratitude will improve and elevate your skill set. So even though before the pandemic, I've been my skill set, my brain, as well as the I became vulnerable, but again I rebooted myself because getting the great time and also started reading again, and also improving my skill set, brain consciousness, I became the best. So using Facebook, people will use Facebook for their own purposes, but still it's all about your perspective, and your purpose will define the platform result. Don't complain Mark Zuckerberg, or don't complain Facebook colors. It's all about the way that you use. So my suggestion, in order to improve your skill set, get connecting with the like-minded people. LinkedIn is the first one. Quora.com is the second one. And if you're a developer, Stack Overflow. And otherwise, you can search related forums, university forums and university groups, so you can join and learn.
Okay, then it's already 7:30 and the time has flown today. So as now we have reached the end of our discussion, we can move on to the next part of the session, which is it's the time for our audience to bring out the questions and doubts regarding what we have discussed today. So if anyone is having a question, they can unmute themselves and ask the question from Mr. Sharma.
Okay, I think Uthpala, if you can bring questions from the group chat, that would be good.
Oh, okay, sir.
There are a lot of.
That's a question, sir. Sir, can you tell us how important it is to put LinkedIn profile in CV when applying for a job?
It is very, very important. Please do not put your Facebook. Always put your LinkedIn. And make sure when you're creating LinkedIn, there's an option to customize your LinkedIn profile URL. So normally, if you're not customizing, what will happen? It will come like a linkedin.com /name, your name, and hyphen, again, numbers and letters. Don't use that. Okay, so you will get a very static length URL. You can customize it. If you look at my profile, I have customized as a Sharanyan Sharma, because there's another Sharma exists. So likewise, first customize. Once you created your LinkedIn profile, make sure do the basic update. Once it's done, customize your LinkedIn URL. We call this as a permalink, vanity URL. So there's multiple ways of calling this LinkedIn profile. So you need to have a search engine friendly URL that's not only for your resume, and also it's good for ranking your LinkedIn page through the LinkedIn search as well as search engine search results. So make sure when you're creating your resume, put the LinkedIn URL on the top. Make sure your LinkedIn has to be publicly viewable. There's two options. You can put your LinkedIn in a restricted mode, which means people need to log in and only your friends can see, like Facebook, what we do. And LinkedIn, you need to use, most of the time you need to use LinkedIn as a public platform where anyone can see your profile, because you're not going to discuss anything vulgar words. You're not going to use anything unethically. So you're going to talk very professionally. So let the people to learn from you. So make sure enable public open profile, and then copy the particular link on your resume. So HR people can visit and have a look about your connection, your way of communicating and collaborating with other people as well.
Okay, so I have a small request. Can you share your screen and show us exactly where you have the icon and all that, so it will be very clear?
Sure. Okay. Here you can see. Okay, are you able to see this one? the URL. So normally this URL will come like this number. So you can customize this URL. Go in your settings section, and also you need to enable open profile. Okay, so this one is very important. You need to enable open profile. Click on this one. So you can disable or enable. Okay, if you have a premium account, make sure you enable the premium icon. Sometimes I used to disable this one. Okay, so now we are I'm in the Tamil mode. Now I switched into English mode as well. So you have an option to switch multiple language mode. And customizing your URL, this is the place where you can add your email address, mobile number, and your Skype and all this detail, your birthdays and everything that you can update it here. Okay, so in order to access that, simply go to your profile, me, click on the me, and view profile. So now I'm in the view profile section. Click on this editor icon. Here you can customize everything. Okay, and also if you want to change your header image, this is the dimension. You will, when you hover it, you will get to know the dimension 1584 into 396 pixel. That's a dimension that you have to maintain for this one, 400 to 400 pixel. So simply upload it, and you can even crop. When you're uploading, you can crop the sizes, adjust it, everything what you're doing on Facebook. So those stuffs can be done. And on your settings, here you can update your public searches. Here you can edit your URL. Okay. Here you can see linkedin.com IN, and here I mentioned Sharma. Okay, normally what will happen, you will see like this, like I said before, number. So remove the number, put your name and save it. Okay, that's how it needs to be edited properly. And you have an option to enable, disable your mobile or sensitive numbers. For example, you want to disable your mobile detail, you have an option to enable and disable background photo, visible to public and all LinkedIn users. Everything can be done through your initial settings section. So that's how LinkedIn works. And make sure, not only LinkedIn, guys, if you're focusing on your personal branding, do not accept all the requests. Like I said before, do not accept fake profile, do not accept any sales inquiries, and do not respond every promotion emails. Okay, so what will happen? It's like an infection. So there are CTAs. People want to get your attention. Sometimes you're clicking on unnecessary link, because it happened for one of our LinkedIn mastermind group member. So what he did, he click on the link, and that redirected to the login page, and he logged in. That's it. His account was locked by others, and also finally he recovered it. But there are phishings are happening. So just make sure connect with the relevant people and get to know their profile. Look at their profile before you even getting connected, and make sure get to know your last post. And when you're publishing a post, you want to make sure that how the posts are performing, because it is very important. When someone is responding, you have to respond them in a timely manner. For the LinkedIn, it's very important. Okay, let me show you. For the Facebook, that's a different way of handling. Okay, let me show you a recent article which I published. So I published this article last week. In this article, what I did, so almost 63 comments, which means when people are responding, I'm also responding to them, thanking or communicating with you, because it's a professional network. We need to respect their time. But same goes with Facebook. It's different. Okay, so guys, this is for education purpose. Please don't think in a different manner. So if you look at my Facebook profile, I rarely respond for the people. Okay, so if you look at this one, no, I don't respond because I'm using different. If you look at this one, I don't respond. Okay, because Facebook, I'm using a different platform to publish. Facebook, I feel like a Facebook is a distraction for me. So I'm using Buffer app, another platform name called Buffer app. That application, mobile application, you can plug your LinkedIn your Facebook, Twitter, and everything. Simply one click update, it will be spread to the social media where you don't want to access LinkedIn or Facebook manually. So what will happen when you're accessing, if you look at the notification, friend request, so these things will be the distraction for you. So in order to manage your productivity, in order to manage your focus, allocate a separate time for that. If you're focusing on your assignment, you're getting notified by one of your friends, you're going to engage. Okay, you're going to comment. And on that comment, one of your friends is going to interact. So you will lose your focus. So in order to become the most productive person, specify a time to engage on your social media. I'm sure 99% of you are not going to agree with me, because this is all about maturity, guys. Okay, you're going to do that. You are going to do that, but not now. In future, definitely.
Okay, I think we really learned quite important facts about LinkedIn. So, because personally, LinkedIn is a platform that I rarely visit all of these days. Like, if I visit it today, in another few weeks' time, I might go back and check on it. So, the other platforms are the ones that I often use. So, today I have understood that I should just put away those platforms and just mainly focus on LinkedIn.
I would say, Uthpala, it's depend on your lifestyle as well. No? So, say an example, you are a student, your purpose and your lifestyle, your need is entirely different. For us, it's all about business. For the LinkedIn, it's all about business, adding values. So that's the main reason we don't spend our time with Facebook, because Facebook, it's all about entertainment and discussions and all this stuff. So we have separate time for that. But giving priority for the LinkedIn, it's all about my current lifestyle. So if I were in your status, definitely I'll be in Facebook or Instagram. Okay, so that's the main reason I'm not advising for the students. So please, it's your life, enjoy it, but get to know what time you want to use it and what time you want to stay away. That is very important, because this is the life that sometimes you need to learn practically all the issues and all the unnecessary fights on Facebook, WhatsApp that can be solved just making one call. I think most of you experienced it. If you have a group, what's happening? They will spend 8 hours to discuss on WhatsApp group, fighting and all these unnecessary things. But making just one call will solve everything. Or meeting them with a cup of coffee will solve everything. But the virtual distraction, we call this as an information fatigue and information overload. So these things will create unnecessary virtual imaginations. So they will think when they look at I'm not saying according to Simon Sinek. So when they look at their profile, when they look at other people update, they may think, hey, why this guy, he read my WhatsApp message, why he didn't respond? So this is the mindset, but he's driving. Sometimes he's driving, he simply looked at it. Oh, my daughter, she used to call even my business clients from my mobile. So nobody knows that. So people will assume it when it comes to digital. That's the main reason you want to know when you want to use it, when you want to disconnect. That will help you to improve your productivity. I don't advise anything for students. When it comes to professional, I used to advise, don't touch your mobile before 8 a.m. Use your mobile for photographs, use your mobile for the important schedules and your calendars. But never ever visit your social media by early morning. What will happen when you see, you will engage, you will start engaging. That's the dopamine. But students, this is not for you. Okay, you enjoy it.
Okay, so thank you. Then we have another question. Business management like subjects are easy to have jobs because there are lots of jobs and companies for them. According to me, just learning science stream is a bit hard to have jobs like in business field. So what kind of experiences and things will help to create LinkedIn account? That's a question.
Uthpala, can you name the user?
It is from Pavani.
Okay.
Well, I'll put that in the question mark.
Okay, so Pavani, like this. If you want to become another accountant, don't do that. If you want to become another business administrator, don't do that. Because why you want to be the 1,000? Why you want to be one of the million? Don't do that. Why can't you just think out of the box? Say an example. This is the biggest issue in our community. Your parents may tell you, hey, your brother became a doctor, your brother became just look at him. He's a great example, living example. He became a doctor. What you're doing? They never ask you about your dream. They never ask you, hey, what you want to do. So these things, at least you need to visualize it. So I was the most worst and most conflicted students in St. Patrick's. Even my class teacher said, because of you, I got embarrassed. So from my childhood, I'm a person who don't want to study. But I will study if there's a practical way of someone explaining. So why I did today, because I'm not able to explain you guys about the LinkedIn, but I felt comfort sharing my screen and explaining to you where I'm able to see, and also you are able to see in a very realistic way. So this is the biggest problem for me from my childhood. When someone is teaching you like I'm using book and they are conveying, I'm not able to get connected. So that's the main reason I became a most failure person from my childhood. My all-level results is all F. A-level, same. Why? I'm not scolding but anyone, because my learning way is different. I'm not a person who can just sit and watch and on the blackboard. I want to learn everything very practically. So that's how we learned it. That's the main reason I'm telling you, Pavani. Get to know exactly how you want to chase your dream. If you want to become another accountant, I mean, this is out of the topic. If you want to become another accountant, you will earn. You are going to earn money, but you're not going to live your dream. If you want to enjoy your life, think out of the box. Okay, if you feel like you want to do something in accounting industry, think out of the box. You don't want to become a typical accountant who are sitting and doing all the audit stuff for the money. So think out of the box, how you can become a consultant, how you can become another person who are creating a very simple application like a QuickBook, or better than QuickBook for the accounting professionals. So this is how I think. I don't want to become another digital marketer. I don't want to become another SEO guru. So no, because I will become another SEO expert. What I thought, I want to learn everything very practical way. I want to share it. I want to become the icon. So which means not to others, for me. I started proving myself. I didn't learn anything which other experts are doing it. So what I'm telling you, Pavani, just think and analyze your friends, because you are saying that you want to become an accountant because there's a spark which has happened. Maybe your parents or your friends, or maybe you evaluated yourself that you want to become an accountant. That's completely fine. Whatever you started, congratulations for you. You did a good progress. But now it's time to pivot. You don't want to become another accountant. Think out of the box, like I said before. Create an application, or maybe start doing something better for the accounting professionals. So now my professor is my student. My professor is my student now. He's learning digital marketing, he's learning performance marketing from me. So how I did that? Just imagine, I'm an uneducated person. He's a degree holder, his name is small, but his degree is something really lengthy. But still I'm teaching him how I did that. Because I went beyond that. I break the typical odd. It's not about me, forget about Sharanyan, but this is how the people like Elon Musk, this is how the Gary Vee, this is how the people are becoming the icon on their industry. Think in that manner. Why you want to craft your LinkedIn profile to attract an employee to come and ask you for an interview and get job and die in that manner. Think out of the box. Let the investor to chase you. Let the investor to find your number and ask them to, hey, can you help me to improve my company? Be a consultant. Be a finance consultant. Don't be an accountant. Hey, I'm not giving you motivation, okay? I hate motivation. I'm just telling you, inspire yourself first. You inspire yourself.
Okay, sir. I guess Pavani got her answer, ma'am. And there is another volunteer who wishes to speak and ask a question. Pamudi. Pamudi.
Thank you, Uthpala. Sir, what I wanted to know is that can we post articles related to issues of the present world in our personal point of view via our LinkedIn profile?
Of course, you can do,
Hello.
but you also need to think from the reader's perspective. Okay, you love to write something about the current scenario, or maybe you are trying to talk about feminism or whatever things. That's completely fine. You can post it, and you will get followers, you will get comments, you will get likes. But what are you trying to achieve, and what kind of result that readers will think on their mind when they are reading about your article? That is matter. You need to think from their perspective, because you are not only going to target one audience. There are multiple audience. Your professor, maybe the people who don't like you are also going to look at your article. So you don't have to convince everyone, but the people who really want to get benefited based on your article, that are you trying to solve their problem? Do you think this is the right platform? So I would say LinkedIn, if you want to talk about social issue, if you are able to write in a very justifiable way, then go for it. But if you think that you want to use something passive tones, something very practical way of talking, I would say avoid LinkedIn, go ahead with Facebook.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I guess we have another important question here. Is there any positive impact of using LinkedIn premium option when it comes to recruiting, and do companies give priority for LinkedIn profiles rather than resumes?
No, not at all. So this is a very common question that we used to get from everyone. Please, it is not necessary. Sometimes I used to disable the premium because I'm using premium to enjoy the extra privileges where I can filter my searches. So using LinkedIn Premium, there are 3 ways. LinkedIn Navigator, if you are a HR person, you want to recruit people, LinkedIn Navigator is the ideal one. Sales Navigator, where you can get to know more clients. You can get prospect using filters, advanced filters, get to know the countries. You can filter based on the keywords, based on the interest, based on the job, based on the age, based on the connections, number of connections, everything that you can do if you have the Sales Navigator. But there's another one, your expert profile, your pro profile. So which means if you are a professional, that will give you more inbox. So at the moment, initially you will have 50 inbox. So having the pro, 500. That's it. So instead of doing that, if you think that unnecessary conversation, you can simply delete and refill the account. I would say 99% chance for a student, it is not necessary to have a LinkedIn Pro account. So once you feel that you are earning something, LinkedIn is giving you something. So through my LinkedIn, yes, of course, I'm earning almost everything from LinkedIn. So that's the reason I'm having a LinkedIn Pro account, not to show off my privilege, but to enjoy as much as possible features on LinkedIn. For the premium features, they can enjoy a lot. And they will get to know the advanced tracking, number of views and users are coming from which companies, which areas and everything. Let me show you something. Again, guys, these are some privacy things. I'm just simply sharing for the education purpose. So please think in that manner. So if you go to the advanced premium features, so if you can see, these are the features that you will get it using the LinkedIn Premium. Okay. So in-mail, which means in-mail means you want to connect one person, but you are not connected. He or she is your third degree connection. So which means if someone is your second degree connection, you can send request. But if the third degree connection, you need their email address to get connected. So you want to send an in-mail direct connection, you need to have 5 in-mail credits. So likewise, there are features that you have to get it in order to have to improve your sales process. But have the premium account, for me, I'm simply enjoying my audience, who are the people coming and how my traffic works, how many views I'm getting every day, like a 680 views a day. So number of views and why it's fluctuation happening, and who are the people visiting my profile, and people who are visiting from which companies, and these are the details that you can simply gather. People from Upwork, people from Fiverr, people from Zoom 24/7. So this is the extensive data that you can gather using LinkedIn Pro, the Pro account. So, but so much of benefits. But like I said before, spend if you think that you are able to gain a return. So Camille, how to find our passion to become an entrepreneur? This is the most generic question I used to answer all the day. Okay. I told you know my pain point. From my childhood, even my parents said I'm going to be a most embarrassing object for them. It's not bad. I'm not complaining about my parents, because whatever they said, it's accurate. It's 100% right. Even my class teacher said I'm the most weird and worst student in his life. So that's completely right. The problem is, for me, I born in a way. So now I'm able to understand, because I'm learning NLP, Neuro Linguistic Language Program. I'm learning about brain. Because why I was a weird student that time, because there are people, they are able to learn and listen in 3 different ways. There are people, they are able to learn looking at the board while they are listening and watching. There are people, they want to learn with an inspiration. If they don't like the lecturer, whatever he say, You will hate, you aren't going to give a focus. As a student, you experience it. Say an example, if you don't like one lecturer, even he's going to give you something really amazing way of delivery about a subject, you are going to hate it. So likewise, it's all about first you need to uncover exactly your weakness, your strength. I didn't uncover my weakness that time. That's the main reason I became most vulnerable and failure person that time. So, but only 13 years ago, I'm able to understand my passion. I'm not a person who can just simply read books and learn, sit and write an exam to become the ordinary one. So I understand I'm able to do things which others can't do. It doesn't mean I'm an extraordinary person. No, for me, I felt I'm able to understand my capacity. I can do things which others can't do. So let's say an example, I think almost 70 plus students are here. So I love to drive bikes, but unlike other people, what I do, people normally they used to take like a 1 or 2 bike overtake. I used to take like a 10 to 20 vehicle one overtake. It's the most dangerous things for other people. It's the most vulnerable and most reckless way of driving. For me, it's my passion. Sometimes, even if I feel, if I'm not able to focus, but my passion is helping me to balance my company, balance my life. So when you understand your passion, so sometimes you are doing things that time, you will never feel tired. Okay. So you're writing a script, or you're writing, you're designing something, or you are spending your time with photography. Maybe you are teaching someone. You're not going to take your time, and you are not going to get tired. So that time you need to understand that's your passion. Or sometimes your friend is going to tell you, hey, you're doing a great dance, you are a good dancer. Maybe they are going to tell you, you are a good person who can sing a song. So likewise, some of your colleagues, your circle will tell you, you can do things. Your parents, they will inspire you, hey, you can do these things. Then understand, give it a try. Then you will understand, okay, you are able to do these things. So in my scenario, whatever the problem, I'm able to solve it. I know 90% of my decisions are wrong, but I'm having the confidence to correct anything and everything with 100% effort, because that is my passion. This is how you need to uncover your passion. Each and every one of you having a great value. What we do, parents are telling you to study doctor, that you don't want to do that, but you are doing to satisfy their fulfill their dreams. So you're not able to shine. What you will do, you will become another doctor. You will die like another doctor. You're not going to create any legacy in the world. Chase your dream.
So as we are running out of time also, I can ask another final question from you. We'll end after that. Can we use LinkedIn learning certificates as our educational qualifications, and does it have the same value as other paper qualifications such as well-recognized qualifications like CIMA, CIM, etc.? That's his question.
Yes, because LinkedIn certifications are provided by Linda. Linda is a platform, learning platform, which is highly recognized by all the top-rated world-class universities. Not by just UGC, but it's world-class recognized university. And also they have a different way of conducting the lessons and sessions by the world-class lecturers, practical experts. So in my opinion, if a company says they don't accept LinkedIn-related certifications, that company is not innovated. So if you're going to work for that company, you will better you find maybe you can apply for career-related jobs. I think Uthpala, I answered that question.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So we are running out of time, and we have been here for about 2 hours, and we also have reached the end of today's session. So I would like to invite Ms. Nauda Rajapaksha of LedKLN University of Kelaniya to deliver the thanking note.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Okay, so first of all, I must say that this session has been wonderful and very informative, because it talked about an area where we don't much step on. It's an area we are not going willingly. So so I think we all learned something which will help us immensely in shaping our career after the university life and even during our undergraduate life. So for that, I must thank Mr. Sharanyan Sharma for joining with us and spending your valuable time educating young undergraduates and educating them to think out of the box, like you yourself said. Thank you very much for that. And also, I would like to thank the Executive Board of LEDKLN, the Organizing Committee of STEP Series for making this event a huge success, and also for all the members of LED and also other students who helped us to make this success. And this whole event would be incomplete actually without you guys, the audience. So thank you very much for being here from the beginning. And I hope you guys will join with us in the upcoming sessions too. Thank you very much and good night.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great weekend. Good night.